can make it. No one to give me an helping hand. They only trying to keep me down. Oh, God bless, no one curse. Thank God I'm not the worst. Oh, my people can't see. They try to take advantage of me. Better must come, yeah. Better must come one day. Better must come. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm-hmm. I've been trying a long, long time. Still I can't make it. Everything I try to do seems to go wrong. It seems I have done something wrong. Why they trying to keep me down? Oh, God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the Hot Topics. The Hot Topics, THT, cutting through the noise, one truth at a time. Welcome to the Hot Topics, coming to you every Thursday on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, Linkage Radio, and Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. The Hot Topic. This is the show that dives beneath the surface to tackle the issues shaping our relationships, our communities, and our world. From Caribbean current affairs to global headlines, we break it all down with clarity and conviction. Here on THD, we are fair, honest, and genuine. We're committed to uncovering the truth, bringing balance to the conversation, and setting the record straight. So get ready. Get ready for the insight. Get ready for the perspective and powerful dialogue. Because when it comes to what really matters, we're cutting through the noise, one truth at a time. This is the Hot Topics on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, The Chris Wilby Show.
Everything I try to do seems to go wrong. It seems I have done something wrong. Why they trying to keep me down? Oh, God bless, no one curse. Thank God I'm not the worst. Better must come one day. Better must come. They get
What a fitting way to start the program, eh? On a day like today, better must come one day. Better must come one day. You know, that song is probably as old as I am. And we're still saying the same things today. Better must come. And people are still crying out and asking for better to come. Can you imagine? Better must come one day. That song has been around for a very long time. And it was recorded back in the day by Desmond Hall. But we're that's it. Delroy Wilson, rather. Delroy Wilson. Better must come one day. It was recorded, and when I started, I said, "It's probably as old as I am," because I am in my 50s. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think that song was recorded round about the time, the same year when I was born. And when that song was recorded, the People's National Party used it actually as their national anthem. They actually used it for the 1972 election campaign. 1972 election campaign. That was what? 54 years ago? Yeah. So, better must come one day. That song has been around for a very long time, and I suspect a lot of us are still crying out for better to come. Better, a lot of people died waiting for better to come, and it never came. But anyway, how are y'all doing this evening? Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you? It is indeed the Hot Topics, and my name is Chris Wilby. I'm going to be here with you for the next however long we can stay here to discuss the issues. Right? And still sticking with the format where I filibuster, as they say. I talk up the things and drop some tune in between. Not true? Yeah, man. So that's the format that we're going to be sticking with. I kind of like that format. I don't know. I love it. So we're going to do that, ladies and gentlemen. But before we go into any song, the main topics that I'm going to be talking about tonight are the topics that everybody is talking about, because I have to give my 2 cents. Huh? Sister Pat would say, you give $1 or $1,000. Yeah, I could do well with 1,000 US right now. Yeah, would go a far way helping me out, take care of some stuff. So if anybody out there feeling a little bit genuine and feel like they want to assist a poor and needy guy, you can reach out to me. Yeah, give me your not your 2 cents, your $1,000. We're kind of gone past that. No. So if you're feeling a little bit generous, feel a little bit generous, you can just hit me up. But anyway, it's policing in Jamaica. Policing in Jamaica. Is it what's going on with policing in Jamaica? It's been in the news. It's been in the news, ladies and gentlemen, and we have to talk about it. We have videos left, right, and center, So we're going to talk about policing in general in Jamaica, and then we're going to talk about the recent situation, recent incident that has caused uproar in Jamaica, right? Uh, we're also going to be talking a little bit about the government's post Melissa spending. That has been in the news. A lot of people are talking about it. The government's spending post Melissa, people are saying government not care about poor people because they have the money to sit down and not spend it. So we're going to talk about that. Is that your take? We're also going to talk about the patois. The Jamaican dialect, Jamaican vernacular, where everybody's up in arms because I tell you, say that Jamaica is not a real place. I hear people say it all the while, that Jamaica is not a real place, and every day I prove it to them. Jamaica is not a real place. You know? Every day I prove it more and more. Jamaica is not a real place. I hear people say it all the time. Because the things are we're worried about, And the things are people, it's it's chicken feed sometimes, Things that we make nice about. And we're also going to be talking about and when we go a little bit into on the international stage, Donald Trump is ordering the U.S. banks to look more closely at its customers. What's the implication? What will be the implication of that? Right. So those are some of the things that we're going to be looking at this evening. But let me drop some more tune and come back now. Better must come one day. So we could listen to some more of that. We'll come right back and dive into everything I try to do into the program, right? I say welcome everybody. Welcome to Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. Also to Linkage Radio. Good evening to you, Linkage Radio Massive. Thank God I'm not the worst, but I must come one day. But I must come. They can't conquer me, but I must come one day. But I must come. Oh, but I must come one day. But I must come. I bet I must come. Bet I must come. Bet I must come. Bet I must come one day.
Better get ready. I'm gonna stay. Caribbean vibes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Caribbean vibes. Yeah.
You are listening to Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, KVRN, is an independently owned and operated online radio station, proudly broadcasting 24 hours per day, 365 days a year from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, USA. The views and opinions expressed by host, guests, and contributors on KVRN are strictly for informational and entertainment purposes only and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of our affiliated stations, including Fit FM 96.7, Linkage Radio, and NRP Media JA. We provide content that covers a wide range of topics, including, but not limited to, politics, current affairs, and relationship issues under our guiding mantra, covering the globe like no one else can. KVRN also streams content on YouTube under the name KVR Network. For questions, comments, or further information, please feel free to contact us at email at caribbeanvibesradio@gmail.com. That is Caribbean with a K, That is KARIBBEANVIBEZ radio at gmail.com, or mail at P.O. Box 42, Centerville, Massachusetts 02632 USA. Thank you for tuning in and supporting Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, your global connection for vibrant, thought-provoking content.
I just positive songs I play. Caribbean Vibes, they cannot play like you. They wanna play like you, that's true. Caribbean Vibes, they wanna play like you. Cannot play like you. Play the way you do. Ooh, yeah. Caribbean Vibes, I play. Night and day.
All right, so there you have it. Yeah, man. Caribbean Vibes up play night and day. For real, no? For real, I'm not joking that. It's night and day. We'll play. It's 24 hours per day, 365 days per year. So, and the website is www.caribbean, and this is Caribbean with a K. KARIBBEANVIBEZ. That's Caribbean Vibes Radio.com. All right, check us out. All right, so let's get back into it now, ladies and gentlemen. Policing in Jamaica. Let's dive into it. Now, for years, Jamaica has battled one of the most difficult challenges facing any developing nation. All right? The fight against crime and violence and successive administrations working alongside the JCF, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, have invested heavily in crime reduction strategies. Also, community policing, intelligence gathering, training, and improving the public image of the police force. While the road has been far from perfect, there is absolutely no denying that progress has been made. Now, over the last decade, Jamaica has seen a steady decline in major crimes and particularly murders. Last year, 2025, marked a historic moment. 2025 was when the country recorded fewer than 700 murders for the first time in more than 2 decades. Now, that achievement, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners, did not happen by accident. That achievement came through countless operations, policy changes, technological upgrades, and the difficult day-to-day work of police. Now, the police officers operating in some of Jamaica's most volatile communities, they have to be commended. Policing is one of the few professions where years of trust, years of building the trust can be undone in a single moment, ladies and gentlemen. And we see that playing out right now. The recent killing of the young lady Latoya Bulgin, aka Bujo, it has become one of those flashpoints that is capable of shaking public confidence in law enforcement. Well, incidents like these, in my mind, create anger. It creates suspicion. It creates fear and emotional reactions across communities. Emotional reactions. I want you to think about that for a moment. Emotional reactions. People get emotional when they see these things. It's a visceral reaction. Yeah? People want answers. Now, these kinds of situations can easily undermine the gains, especially in Jamaica, where the relations between sections of the population and the police have historically been strained. And this is why professionalism in police matters so much. The modern Jamaican police officer, in my mind, faces enormous pressure. You may not agree with me, and that's okay. But my opinion and my belief is that the policing in Jamaica is not easy. Officers are expected to confront heavily armed criminals. They are also expected to enter dangerous situations and make split-second decisions under life-threatening circumstances while still maintain restraint, discipline, and respect for human rights. And that is definitely not an easy task. But yet, the public rightfully expect officers to operate within the law and uphold the highest standards of conduct, because they chose this profession. Every interaction between the police and civilian matters. Everyone. And one incident that is perceived as unjust or excessive can damage years of progress in community relations. One incident. Crime fighting, ladies and gentlemen, depends heavily on a couple of things. Trust and cooperation between citizens and law enforcement. And communities that do not trust the police are less likely to share information and assist investigations or work alongside authorities to remove criminal elements from their neighborhoods. When that trust is broken down, when that trust breaks down, criminals often benefit the most. Now, saying all of this at the same time, citizens or the citizens on a whole must also guard themselves. They must also guard against when they see a situation, rushing to judgment, especially when there is an allegation. When there are allegations against the police. And a lot of times we see some things circulating on social media. We have to be careful because emotions often move faster than the facts, Your emotions, you see something and there's a visceral reaction because you're human beings. And videos, rumors, or even sometimes partial accounts can spread rapidly before the investigations are completed. And while accountability is necessary in any democracy, fairness must also prevail. Fairness must also prevail. Because every allegation deserves a proper, transparent investigation. And this investigation must be rooted in evidence rather than the public outrage alone. There is an important balance that Jamaica must maintain. This is very critical. The police officers who abuse their authority or violate the law must, it's not a if nor but, they must be held accountable. Because accountability strengthens public confidence and reinforces the integrity of the police officers who abuse their authority or violate the law. Yeah. But the nation must also recognize that the overwhelming majority of the police officers, they put their lives on the line on a daily basis to protect and serve their communities. And oftentimes they do it under extremely difficult conditions with limited resources and constant danger. My friends, the truth is that policing in Jamaica is not easy. Officers are confronting organized gangs, illegal firearms, lottery scammers, narcotics networks, and violent offenders who have little regard for human life. Many officers leave home every day unsure if they will safely return to their families. We have seen that in many instances where the police officers are shot, sometimes Some of them die. Now, despite these realities, they are still expected to serve with patience, professionalism, and restraint. Ladies and gentlemen, a safer Jamaica cannot be built on hostility between citizens and the police. A safer Jamaica requires partnership. It requires mutual respect, accountability, and trust. The gains Jamaica has made in reducing crime are too important to lose because of mistrust, poor conduct, or hasty conclusions. This recent tragedy should therefore serve as a moment of reflection for everyone: law enforcement, government officials, community leaders, and ordinary citizens alike. The police must continue improving standards, strengthening training, and ensuring professionalism in every engagement with the public and the citizens of Jamaica. Meanwhile, the citizens themselves must continue demanding accountability while also allowing due process and fair investigation to take place. At the end of the day, every Jamaican wants the same thing. They want safer communities. They want fewer murders, less fear, and a country where law-abiding citizens can live peacefully. Achieving the goal requires both a professional police force and a society willing to work with those who are sworn to protect and serve. Again, achieving that goal requires both a professional police force and a society willing to work with those sworn to serve and protect. So I say all of that to say this. When we see situations, sometimes the first reaction is not necessarily the correct one. Or in other words, you see something and you believe that it is not justified. But if you take a second look, you will realize that, hey, something is off here. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that is what we are looking at with this Latoya Bulgin situation. Now, I saw the video, just like everybody else. Watched the video like 100 times. And I know that I have come away with a different understanding, interpretation, conclusion than a lot of other people, and that's okay. We are different people and we view things differently. And that is why when you go before, when a case goes before a juror, you have 12 people, and sometimes it is difficult for the 12 of them to reach the same conclusion, because they will look at the same exact evidence and see it differently, because we're human beings and we are not all alike. So I say that the build up because I'm going to give you my pronouncement. And a lot of people may not agree with me, and that's okay. You won't be the first, you won't be the last. When a police officer pull you over in any country, whether you be in Jamaica, United States, Canada, anywhere at all, when a police officer pull you over, it is your duty. It is your duty to comply with the officer's request. And a lot of times, complying may not necessarily mean that you're obeying the law. Or in other words, complying doesn't necessarily mean that you are in the wrong. Let's put it that way. Complying means that you live to fight another day. I don't mean literally, I mean figuratively speaking, because I don't want anybody fighting the police. So maybe I shouldn't be using fighting when we're talking about these things. The police officer, in his course of duty, will ask you sometimes to hand over your documents for a motor vehicle traffic stop. That's most of the time. That is the first thing. Hand over your documents. And if you refuse, then you are escalating. And the police officer, yes, they are trained to de-escalate. They're supposed to de-escalate. However, you as a civilian should not try to start to escalate things with a police officer, with an armed police officer, by the way. He's not only armed with a weapon, he's armed with the law. And they can make your life miserable, whether you like it or not. Whether you are right or not. The police officers can make your life a living hell. They can make your life miserable. So the best thing to do, if you believe that the police is treating you unfairly, is to comply. They say comply, then complain. Meaning you comply with what they are saying. If you feel that they are treating you with disrespect, these days we have cell phone cameras. You video the incident and you report him. Comply, complain. Comply, then complain. That is how it's supposed to be. Do not try to argue with the police officer right there on the spot. You will be escalating the situation, and chances are you will be on the losing end. Why put yourself through that? Why put yourself through that? Now, if I were a betting man, is it? If I were a betting man, I hear a lot of people calling it to say the police commit murder. But if I were a betting man, I would bet you that this police officer will never face 1 day in jail. And it's not because of corruption. It's because, in my opinion, he was on legal grounds. In other words, the shooting was justified by law. Now, if you notice my words that I'm using, if you don't notice the words I'm using, the shooting was justified by law. My opinion. If you notice, I also say he was on solid legal grounds. Solid legal grounds. So yes, it is right for the police to have taken him off frontline duty. It was a correct move. It's also the correct move for the police to investigate him, to find out if he did anything wrong, if he did anything unlawful. And if they believe he did anything unlawful, they should charge him and let it play out in the court. And in the court, the evidence will speak for itself. It's right there on camera. Cameras do not lie unless you edit it. Cameras don't lie. So, say all of that to say this. If you look on those of you watching, if you look on my screen, you will see the situation. I'm going to play the audio. I'm going to play just the video for you. And meanwhile I'm playing, I'm going to demonstrate something to you. So those of you, this is a real video. This is not a doctored video. This is the real video of from the surveillance. And if you notice, the officer is standing directly in front of the vehicle. He's not standing to the side. It looks that way because of the angle of the camera, the angle that it is shot from. But if you think about it, and if you look and say you were in the back, you were standing right here, somewhere here, you look across. If you were tall enough to look across here and look, you would see over the car, and you would see that the police officer was standing directly in front of the vehicle. So what happened? Let's watch it. The police officer is standing there, casually standing there. He's fixing his hat. This is not a man who, to me, look like he's in a premeditated mode to shoot anybody. My opinion. Right? If you notice, he's casually standing there. He's looking off. He's looking down. I don't know. He's probably talking to somebody. Look at this person. There are people in the vehicle. He talks. Look at that. He said something on. It seemed he said something on his radio. The car. He's still standing. Look. He is still standing. The car was pulled over. She was still under the police officer's jurisdiction. It was a traffic stop. The police officer is standing directly in front of the vehicle. Because in his mind, the person in this vehicle should not be moving the vehicle. So, now I want you to ask yourself this question. Would a reasonable person see a police officer standing directly in front of a vehicle, and decide to drive it forward? And I hear some people saying that the wheel, if you notice the wheel, turned to the right. Yeah, it's turned to the right. But the officer is still standing in front of the vehicle. At this point here is where the officer pulled his firearm. Pulled the firearm and fires. See that? Still standing in front of the vehicle. He pulled the firearm and fired. Look at this. I slowed it down. At the moment he fired, he's still in front of the vehicle. He's still in harm's way. He's still in danger. The vehicle is moving forward with the police officer in front of it. Now you may ask a question. Or you may say to yourself, him could have moved. Of course, he probably could have moved. But that's probably. I don't know what was going through his mind. And these are the facts that will play out in court. The facts that will play out in court. Remember that it will have to be, he will have to be convicted beyond a reasonable doubt. So the jurors will get the instruction to say, hey, listen, if you have any doubt at all in your mind, you have to find him not guilty. So there are questions. Could he have jumped out of the way? Probably. What was his rationale? Maybe he was thinking that the car was coming towards it. The car was going to kill him. Because he was so close and the car was moving. The guy was, to me, he looks like he was not even a foot away from the car. He was very close to the car. So the fact that people are saying that the woman wasn't speeding towards him makes no difference. The fact is that the man is standing in front of the car and you are moving the car forward. So either you're moving the car forward and telling him to get out your way. So in other words, you call it Jamaica, in Jamaica. You trick him, what's the word? You bluff him. If him come out of the way. Or you're going to run him over for real. It's one of two things. Right? So, I am saying, look at that. See that? Shot fired. Policeman still in front of the vehicle after he fired. He was still in front of the vehicle. You could say that he was startled. It could have been that he was startled. Look at that. He's still in front of the vehicle. And boom. One shot. He fired one shot. The vehicle stopped immediately. He fired one shot. And the vehicle stopped immediately. So there are many things. The fact that he only fired one shot was a professional thing to do. I'm giving you the facts that are going to play out in court. This is what his attorneys will say. It wasn't an overkill. If you notice, he had a rifle in his hand. I don't know if it's an M16 or whatever. And he had that at the ready. Could have used. He did not use that. He moved that out of the way. He moved it out of the way. And he went for his sidearm because he knew that, hey, listen, if I use the M16, it's going to be overkill. If I use this, and then you have some people saying, him should have shoot out the tire. No, don't look on this. People who are watching, I'm sorry for those who are listening on the radio, you can't see, but next time you want to join me on the YouTube. Look at the distance. Can you imagine this man looking for the tires to shoot it out? People, all right? The people who are saying that the man policeman wicked and should have shoot out the tire. Hold on. Look at where the man is. Where are the tires? Where are the tires? Look at where he is. How much shoot tire? These are the visceral reactions. These are the emotional reactions. So, ladies and gentlemen, the police officer, in my opinion, did what he was trained to do. But you see, you know, yeah, I was just reading something there. I got a little bit distracted. So the police is trained to protect his life first and foremost, you know. And with a car that weigh how much, 100 pounds, 1,000 pounds, how many 1,000 pounds coming at you. A similar situation like this happened recently in America, and the police officer was not charged. Don't know what is going to happen here in Jamaica. I suspect. I don't know. The investigation is going on, so we will see what happened. But in my opinion, it is as clear to me. In my mind, there is no ambiguity. There is no maybe there. It is a clear cut of self-defense. That's what will be argued in court, and I think that's what will be proven in court, because even though the tires are turning to the right, she is moving out. Yeah, they could say that she's trying to move away, but he doesn't know that. He sees a vehicle coming at him. He's not looking at tires, and that is where people are confusing the thing. The guy, look at his head. You think he's looking down at tires? He's looking at a vehicle coming at him. So, people, we have to take the emotion. I understand, but we have to take the emotions out of this thing. Yeah. So,
You got to do this new dance.
let me get some more music in here. I'm gonna come back to you in just a moment. Stand by.
Just like Uncle Freddy, if you don't know it, just shake your head, rock your body line, shake your shoulders, everything in time and sing. Oh, 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 oh. You got to shake your shoulders. Better get ready just to do rock steady. Yeah. You got to do this new dance just like Freddie. You got to do it just like Uncle Freddie. If you don't know it, shake your head, rock your body line, shake your shoulders, everything in time and sing. Oh, 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 oh. You got to let it go. Know you're ready. Let's do rock steady. Yeah. You got to do this new dance. Know that you're ready. You got to do it just like Uncle Freddie. Now that you know it, shake your head, rock your body line, shake your shoulders. Everything is fine now. Sing. Oh, 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 oh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, you know me, I hold this guy, so I don't know where I go. But yeah, man, pressure is continuing to build on the governing Jamaica Labour Party as the opposition People's National Party intensifies calls for full accountability and transparency surrounding the Hurricane Melissa Relief Fund. Now, the opposition argues that Jamaicans deserve a detailed breakdown of how the approximately $1.44 billion in donor funding tied to Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts has been allocated and spent. The recent public statements from opposition figures have questioned whether enough information has been released regarding expenditures, project approvals, and the overall management of the fund. Now, PNP leader Mark Golding and other opposition representatives have insisted that disaster recovery funds must be managed with the highest levels of oversight, particularly given the scale of destruction caused by Hurricane Melissa across several parishes. The party has repeatedly warned that any perception of political favoritism or lack of accountability could undermine public trust in the recovery process. For its part, the government has defended its handling of the relief program. Government Senator Marlon Morgan recently stated that billions of dollars have already been committed to roof repairs, modular housing, infrastructure restoration, agriculture recovery, and emergency social support. He also stressed that the administration is following strict financial accountability procedures under Jamaica's public finance rules. Now, this issue is quickly evolving into a major political battle, with the opposition demanding the publication of a comprehensive expenditure plan and independent scrutiny of all hurricane-related spending. Political observers note that how the government responds could significantly affect public confidence, especially as Hurricane Melissa remains one of the most devastating storms in Jamaica's history. So the battle lines are drawn, ladies and gentlemen. But because of it is funny, it is funny that it's, I don't know if I should say it's funny, it's interesting that we are where we are right now, and we are not crying out. Not saying that it is right, I'm just saying, hey, listen, we are not crying out saying where the money missing. No, at this juncture, nobody is saying that the money missing or any money missing. Not even the staunchest supporter of the opposition party. Not one iota of missing funds. So, I guess we could say that's a good thing. But if you all remember, during the height of the Melissa recovery and donations were going out, I, on this program, told people not to donate to the government. You remember me tell that? I said, do not. I think even Sister Pat called me and we had the discussion. I told people, do not. I said, if you have a charity in Jamaica, if you have a family member, if you donate to them, do not donate to the government for many reasons. I don't trust government. That is one. And two, I know that the government works slowly. And if there is a reason why
That happens. There are many bureaucracies and red tape before the money can be spent. And I told people that if you donate to the government, these monies are going to be sitting there months after. I predicted that this was going to happen. I predicted that this was going to happen. And here we are. The government, I suspect that because of this is donation, it didn't have to go through the procurement. I don't even like to use that word because you talk about it and you talk about headache. Red tape. The procurement process in Jamaica is a headache. And it was put in place because of the corruption, to prevent corruption, so there has to be lots of accountability. This have to go over here, so this have to sign, that the T have to cross, that the I have to, and everyone, it have to go through different stages and different committees and different, all kind of thing. That's what happened with the money. That's why the money is sitting, because the problem is it's there. It's there, and I suspect it will be used. But in the meantime, it's of no use to the lady down in Westmoreland that doesn't have a roof on her house and needs some assistance. It's not helpful to any of those people. But I understand why it was there in the first place. Why these rules were there in the first place. Now let me just step back for 1 second. Let me go back to how these people are. The politicians are getting involved, right? The politicians are getting involved with the shooting in of the young lady, Buju. Now, Miss Marlene Malahoo Fort, she came out and she's saying, again, it's a human reaction. And she is the member of parliament. So obviously she's invested. She's going to come out and talk. Well, listen to what Miss Marlene Malahoo Fort said. She almost, if you listen to how she is trying to be careful not to throw her party under the bus again, because she's on thin ice, you know. I think the knives are drawn from Mrs. Malahoo Fort, so she has to be careful how she says certain things.
Not want to jump to hasty conclusion, and I do believe in process and investigation, but based on what I've observed on the scene, the commissioner will have to take immediate action in relation to the officer in this matter.
Why would you say that, though, madam?
Well, you know, I think this one doesn't look so good. Can't prejudge it, but it doesn't look good.
She's if you read between the lines and you listen to what Miss Malahoo Fort is saying there, you know, is that, why to me the policeman wrong, you know. That's basically what she said. Yeah, she basically I say, yo, listen, it's him wrong. No, I guess she was also in the presence of I think the councillor, and you know, Mr. Troop was there, and I have audio and I do a video of this one too. Let's see if we can.
And I know that the community is angry, grieving, and searching for answers. The good thing is that the investigation is being assisted by camera footage. And the investigation has proceeded swiftly. I want to ask you to stay on the right side of the law. I don't want any response in the community to result in a suppression of anything. So I know that you are angry. Be angry, but sin not. Be assured that answers will come in this case. Because what has happened today is not right. No. So, difficult as it might be, I'm asking you to keep the peace and allow me to make the representation on your behalf. And there is no division along party lines in dealing with this matter. So we don't have to bring partisan politics in. But you can be assured that the answers will come in this case.
Swiftly.
Right? So,
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one. I'm gonna leave that one there for the moment. And yeah, it's a very, very interesting development. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me go back and play some more tune, and I will come back and we will talk about the next thing that we're going to talk about is the patois in Parliament. But I also going to play a response from Mr. Morgan about the Melissa spending. All right, so soon come back. Let's get to some more music from the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the way you walk. I love to hear you talk. I love to see you smile. You're a cool operator. Girl, I wish you were mine. I ain't got no money, no silver or dime. But all I want from you, baby, to love me all of the time. I love the way you walk. I love to hear you talk. I love to see you smile. You're a cool operator. Girl, I wish you were mine. Yeah, yeah. Good God. I ain't got no money, no silver or dime, baby. But all I want from you, honey, to love me all of the time. I love the way you walk. I love to hear you talk. I love to see you smile. You're a cool operator. Girl, I wish you were mine. Yeah, baby. I said I love you for more than one reason. I really love you. Baby, I really love you. I really want you. You got me going wild.
Yeah, yeah, yeah! Sound the sound for you and mine to keep it walking the line and make it feel so fine. Love you for many calls from Billy Post, rubbing and digging you the most.
I love the way you walk.
Now do remember,
I love
a one-eyed man is a king in a blind man kingdom.
I love to see you smile. You're a cool operator.
Now be cool while I beg a little baby, cause I've got enough soul to make your face sneeze on the fly, get down on his knees. Right now I operate on 54.5, them is semi-frequency. Love you not because of what you are, not because of who you are. Love because of what you're thinking of me each and every day. Love is all I pray. Yeah, yeah, yeah! One time.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good God.
Keep on skanking and finding real cool and very much alive. Shake your shoulder and rock your back, cause here comes another double attack.
I ain't got no money, no silver or dime, baby.
Can't you see we're meant to be while I'm done my bending knees begging you please? money can't buy, and that's love. While I operate on 54.5 them a semi-frequency. Great booga wooga with our wooga. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Baby,
I keep on loving you more than
I
words can tell. Darling, only you know so well
really love you.
why I love from many coast from Billabong.
I really love you.
I'm just a cool operator, operating down along the line to let it feel so fine.
I could feel those trains walking over when you held me tight. Now I feel those pains
So be wise and be gentle and put on the best. Because I've got new musical keys. Drop it, baby, I just coming, yeah. Cause I'm tougher than tough and that ain't no bluff. Maybe it's because I've got the music good stuff. I'm gonna make you the talk of the town. No use swearing a frown. Those them other guys may put you down. I'm gonna let you wear my crown. Though them other guys may put you down, you wear my crown. Whoa! Chickaboo, 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 wow, wow. Dip me soul, father, dip me soul, sister. Don't beg for no mercy. Move it up and wake it up. I tell you about it, it's good. Wow! She's got it, she's got it, she's got it. Are we gonna have a musical bar? So get out the bar and don't start. I beg you, baby. Wow! Tell you about it, it's good. I'm gonna wear you to the ball tonight. Put on your best dress tonight. That's for sure. Play red music, nigga. This never think about this, baby. Wow! I tell you about it, she's got it. She's got it. She's got it. Wow! Chickaboo, 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 wow, wow. Chickaboo, wow, 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 wow.
You keep telling me yes, but you don't mean it. You keep telling me no, and try to lean it. You're giving me buts and maybe. You know this will drive me crazy. Why can't you tell it like it is? Let your yeah be yeah, and you know be no now, baby. Let your yeah be yeah, and you know be no now, mama. Because I'm on my guard and I'm watching you from head to toe. You better let your yeah be yeah, and you know be no. You wear a plastic smile, I know by your eyes. You speak with indefinite style. You're telling me lies. You've got to face reality. What is wrong with you and me? Why can't you free your honesty? Let your yeah be yeah, and you know be no now. Let your yeah be yeah, and you know be no now. Because I'm on my guard and I'm watching you from head to toe. So you better let your yeah be yeah, and you know be no. You keep telling me yes, but you don't mean it. You keep telling me no, and try to lean it. You're giving me buts and maybe. You know this will drive me crazy. Why can't you tell it like it is? Let your yeah be yeah, and you know be no now. Let your yeah be yeah, and you know be no now. Oh, because I'm on my guard and I'm watching you from head to toe. So you better let your yeah be yeah, and you know be no, no.
I am the magnificent. I'm back, but the shaker was so boss, most thundering, storming, sound of soul. opponent. Pressure and slide.
All right, so yeah. I tell you, back in the day, man, we used to go and listen to the music here, all night, So look out for the video, yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, back to the program. Senator Marlon Morgan is responding to the government's the opposition's making comments about the Melissa relief recovery. So, Senator Morgan is the JLP's communication task force spokesperson, and he has moved to clarify the scope of the government's post-Melissa expenditure. Mr. Morgan was reacting to the Auditor General's report that little over 2% of over $1 billion in Hurricane Melissa donations has been spent. According to Senator Morgan, there's more than $67 billion program in hurricane expenditure. $67 billion.
The public should note that Finance Minister Favour Williams had itemized the 67 billion Jamaican dollars being spent on Hurricane Melissa recovery and relief efforts during her contribution to this year's budget debate. The referenced expenditure includes approximately $10 billion to assist Jamaicans to repair their roofs. It also includes $5 billion provided via the National Work Agency to conduct cleanup and other post-disaster relief activities, and approximately $1 billion was expended on the provision of care packages.
Now, according to Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis, up to April this year, hundreds of millions of dollars in Hurricane Melissa donations remained uncommitted. That means that there was no planned use for the funds by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM. However, Senator Marlon Morgan says this is a grossly misleading narrative about the state of relief spending. On housing, Senator Morgan says that the National Housing Trust has allocated billions of dollars for shelter relief and insurance claims.
The government will not spend funds in the corrupt manner in which former PNP administrations have treated the people's resources. Indeed, the $1.44 billion donated to assist in our recovery and rebuilding efforts could not have been used willy-nilly. ODPEM needed to embark upon processes to ensure that the funds may be used and accounted for in accordance with budgetary rules, including the FAA Act.
Yeah, that was Senator Marlon Morgan, member of the Jamaica Labour Party's Communication Task Force. Mr. Morgan also reiterated that $600 million have been earmarked to build the bases of modular housing units for those whose homes were destroyed. So it's a back and forth, and I understand it's a little bit of politicking going on there, which is understandable. And if the JLP doesn't know how to respond, then the PNP will knock them off them socks. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Ladies and gentlemen, patois in Parliament. Patois in Parliament. I tell you, this one here got blown up. It blew up wicked, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody was talking about it until because this is all social media work, Everything is not even 9 years. It just happened. And by tomorrow, floops, something else come and knock it away because we have a very, very short attention span.
Madam Speaker, me get up this afternoon.
I say, what an utter collapse after MP for Southern St. James, Nikisha Burchell, tried to start her sectoral presentation using the Jamaican language, and the speaker did shut her down. So what do you think? And what do you think about the idea of using patois in Parliament? I'm Dion Jackson Miller, soon tell you what I think, right?
So, yeah. That was the next thing. Patois in Parliament. So, everybody was up in arms about, and everybody was giving their opinion. Maybe we should chime in and hear what Dion Jackson Miller, her opinion. Let's hear what Dion's opinion is on this.
Three. When I speak to I have been reminded of the linguistic attempt to use our local leader. Speaker, here I allow me to speak. Orders, and I think you are fully aware. And if I have to stop you again during your presentation, you will not get any additional time. No, and she knows.
Broken English.
Standing order 6, page 3. When I speak to this, that attempt to use or London. I should abandon. Madam Speaker, perhaps I should abandon that attempt to use our local language because I have been reminded of the linguistic conventions of this Honorable House. Because maybe there is no more fitting way to begin a presentation on culture than to speak briefly in the language understood by the overwhelming majority of Jamaican people. Even if that language still struggles for full acceptance in some of our most formal national spaces, including this very parliament. So let me give you the Queen's English.
So, me and the Rules Are Rules people going to catch up again today. I know a lot of you watch the channel. I appreciate it, so hear me out, all right? And by the way, I was interviewing Dr. Joseph Farquharson from the Jamaican Language Unit at the University of the West Indies. He used a quote from Gandhi, and I just had to go look for it, especially for my Rules Are Rules friends. And by the way, for the millionth time, I just want to say, I support rules, I support law and order, I want an orderly society, but I do not support is rules that are irrational, outdated, that are rooted in racism or self-hatred or misogyny or anything like that. So here's what Gandhi said. He said an unjust law is itself a species of violence. Arrest for its breach is more so. Now the law of non-violence says violence should be resisted, not by counter-violence, but by non-violence. This I do, he said, by breaking the law and by peacefully submitting to arrest and imprisonment. Well, Gandhi said it more elegantly than I can. So remember, he led resistance against British rule. And should he have not done that? Because rules are rules. And I know you're going to say that's something.
All right. So that's that's Dion's take. And I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. But that's her take. And I am one who believe in challenging the rules. You would have heard me here talking about the same thing that she just spoke about. Rules are rules, and unjust rules. Why are we having unjust rules? Now, Nikisha Burchell, very eloquent, very brilliant young lady. And she is doing what politicians should do. She is making waves, and her name is being branded about left, right, and center. She has emerged as the spokesperson for the People's National Party. And so she's a very brilliant young woman, and she, I suspect, is going places. She will be going places. This is a woman who is very, very confident, and she liked to talk. She loved the camera. And so a lot of what she does is to garner support, which nothing is wrong with it. I'm not saying anything is wrong with it, because politicians have to find a way to garner support. But she's very brilliant, and she's very good in front of the microphone and very good in front of the camera. So Mrs. Jackson Miller said that you're supposed to challenge the rules. Now, what she did was brilliant. But was it right? It wasn't right. It definitely wasn't right. Because Nikisha knew the rules. And she broke the rule in Parliament, just like Angela, what's her name? The lady that touched the mace. They knew the rules and they broke it. So it's like they are coming to Parliament prepared to disrupt. It's probably the new kind of politics. I mean, like this, they come in, they were confident that they were going to win the election. They did not win the election. They fell short. They fell short, and hey, it is what it is. So what else, Have to make some noise. So she's making noise, and she's making waves. But she will tell you that she did not come prepared to talk in the patois that she claimed that in the house. You hear she said. She's lying. She did not. It was misleading when she said that in the house she was prepared to speak. And you don't believe me? I want you to listen to this interview on Smile Jamaica with Bertis Bell.
Better. And she said it 2 times. She said she knows better. You knew better.
I knew better than to not represent my culture, for the people of Jamaica to not hear their language, to hear themselves in Parliament. I don't.
I was asked a question about Dr. Brown Burke's lifting the mace. And I said in response that if you don't have rules and order, there will be chaos.
Yes.
I accept that some of those rules probably shouldn't be there, but they are there. So why don't you follow the rules that are there, and then when the time comes, if possible, change them? But why the rules are there, why don't you follow them?
So when is the time? And when
Well, you should tell me that when the time is.
Exactly, which is why I raised that mirror for parliamentarians, for legislators, to look at themselves. Is this how you want to represent your parliament and your people in 2026? That was me disrupting it. That was me spurring the conversation to say, I want our children to be able.
Then when the time comes, if possible, change them. But why the rules are there, why don't you follow them?
So when is the time? And when
Well, you should tell me that when the time is.
Exactly, which is why I raised that mirror for parliamentarians, for legislators, to look at themselves. Is this how you want to represent your parliament and your people in 2026? That was me disrupting it.
That was me disrupting it. Telling on herself there, right? That was me disrupting it. So she is admitting on camera that she came to Parliament to disrupt Parliament.
That was me spurring the conversation to say it's time for change. And clearly,
it's time for change. What are the changes that she wants? She wants us to just start talking patois, abandon the Queen's English, and just start talking patois. Is this what Nikisha Burchill is saying? And if that was the case, if she is so passionate about the patois, why is she on national TV? She went to Parliament to use patois, but she's on national TV using the Queen's English. And for the most part, even when she's doing her videos, go and look, she's very popular on social media. When she's doing her videos, she don't use patois. She don't use patois. She used the Queen's English or the King's English. So, I don't understand the strategy here. And the people who are defending it, talking about using patois in Parliament, it's nonsense. The rules state that you're not supposed to do it. So, argue for the rules to be changed. But you cannot know that this is the rule and you are disobeying the rule. And these are the same people. These are the people who are in Parliament, and they are the first ones who will tell the children in school that they must obey the rules.
Parliament wasn't ready for that conversation, but you know who's ready for it? The diaspora. Who's ready for it? Jamaica is ready for that.
Who's ready for what? Oh, you know, so the diaspora ready for it. For what kind of
conversation? And they're having the conversation. I get the controversy, but controversy is good.
Controversy is good. I tell you, though, she's brilliant. She knows that controversy will keep her in the limelight. So she understands. Just like Donald Trump. Donald Trump wants us to continue to talk about him. Because once you're talking about him, he's in the limelight. And you're not talking about something else.
That is how culture evolves. I want Jamaicans, I want our children to be able to rigorously learn and speak the English language. But I want them to intelligently navigate the Jamaican language. I want them to own it because language is confidence.
I want them to own it. We all own the Jamaican language. Everyone that we chatted, if you're born in Jamaica, you chatted. One more own you want, we own it. I mean, I understand you. One more own you want, we own it. Everyone that we were born on Jamaican soil own patois. It's free. But you want us to start using it into the national, just like make speeches, and I'm not saying that you can't. The people who are talking about patois is not supposed to be used in Parliament, they're being very disingenuous, you know, and ridiculous, you know, because I hear people giving speeches and occasionally dropping some patois in the middle of it, you know. So that is not what people are talking about if we are to be truthful. We are talking about you get up and you want to make an entire, you claim, you started off your speech in the worst patois ever. What? That's not normal.
I want our people, I want our children to confidently speak them patois in a parliament, out of parliament, in official, informal spaces, in informal spaces. For Read Across Jamaica Day last week, I went to a couple schools in my constituency. I didn't bring an English book about Spider-Man, Superman. I brought Jamaica Labrish by Louise Bennett. I brought Anansi Stories by Louise Bennett. And I was surprised a lot of the kids, they don't know who is Brother Tukuma. They don't know who is Big Boy. They don't know who is Anansi. We're losing it. And if we don't disrupt it, jolt society, then we're going to stay the same.
Listen. I think it's a bug of, you know what. Miss Louise Bennett, she loved her patois. She represented Jamaica very, very well. And she brought patois, as they would say, to the four corners of the earth. I don't think that Miss Lou did say, if you abandon the Queen's language, you know. I don't think that's what she's saying. That you must go in a garden house and write a whole speech in a patois. When you're speaking, you're not speaking just for yourself, you know, and just for your audience. You know, you're speaking to an international audience. So you want to just go in there and just... So now you have to go talk patois and get translators. You know? I don't understand you.
I would, and I was going to say I would suspect, I don't know. But I've seen Parliament, and you're a part of the opposition.
Mm-hmm.
If a member of the government did something that's wrong in Parliament, I suspect the opposition will jump on ballot and say, hold on, you did something wrong.
Well, that's up for debate. As I said...
Hold on. The rules of Parliament say
says-
you must speak standard English. That's not up for debate. That's the Standing Order 6,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes, but we were in what is called a sectoral debate.
Mm-hmm.
And the rules of debate allow you to use literary devices. This was a disruptive communicative device where you use jargons, you use slangs, you use other languages. I was following the rules of English language itself, which gives you literary devices that you can use. I did not, however, challenge the Speaker's authority. She made her decision. She had an option. She had an option to do what she did, which was quite predictable, or she could have risen to the moment to say, for our culture, for
flexible.
a spokesperson on...
You see what she did there? You see what she did there? She threw it back on the Speaker. No, why did Nikisha Burchill in this instance did not ask permission? She is saying that the Speaker should have risen to the occasion. Now, the Speaker was following the standing order. Now, Nikisha Burchill could have asked permission. She could have said, hey, for the purpose of this debate, may I use or may I be permitted to use the Jamaican dialect for purpose of illustration or whatever it is. She could have done that. Orlando Terlang did that some time ago when there were some foreign dignitaries or visitors in the house, and he asked permission to speak in Spanish. He asked permission to speak. He asked the Speaker's permission, and the permission was granted to speak in Spanish so that the people could understand what he was saying. And the permission was granted, and he spoke in Spanish. He asked before. He did not just get up and said, Madam Speaker, get up today and me go start to talk Spanish or whatever it is. He did not do that. So, hey. But what do I know? I don't know. I'm just a little guy, behind a microphone. I don't know anything.
Culture to come into our house and to confidently speak our language, I could allow 2 sentences because that's what she could have done as an enlightened leader. But
was your presentation written entirely in Patois?
Absolutely not. My first 2 sentences were written in Patois, again, for the shock value to get the conversations going so that we can...
Yeah. The first sentence, she said the first 2 sentences were written in Patois. The first 2 sentences, she said, were written in Patois. So, if you should go by what she said, it was for the shock value. She told on herself. She told on herself. So it's not that she what you call it? She wanted to talk in she didn't prepare the entire speech in Patois. She said it right there and then that she wanted the shock value. So everybody who's talking about the young lady for talking a Patois and Juliet Holness shut her down, listen to what she said.
My first 2 sentences were written in Patois, again, for the shock value to get the conversations going.
That's her telling on herself. So when everybody talking about it, this is not a serious conversation. This is just people want shock value. Because that's what they do. She said it. She wanted the shock value.
Were written in Patois, again, for the shock value to get the
In patois?
Absolutely not. My first two sentences were two sentences because that's what she could have done as an enlightened leader. But
was your presentation written entirely in patois?
Absolutely not. My first two sentences.
Neville Burtis Bell, I give you credit, my brother. You're asking all the right questions. You did great. You did great. Yeah? And I see Gloria Sterling saying that, then speak patois no, no? There's a time and place for everything. Teresia is saying, why is this conversation in standard English? That is the point that I'm trying to make. That's a question that I would ask too. Let me see if I see some more. So why is she not speaking patois in this interview? Says Lenny Was. And Nachi said, can you go embassy speak in patois? Can you teach in patois? Let me see if I see any more comments here. Excellent conversation. This is not about politics. When our people can master the official English language and the patois, the cultural language, then we can prepare for a revolutionary Jamaica. So yes, Jamaica, we don't need, every Jamaican can master patois. Every Jamaican, I don't understand, you know, so I'm a little bit, maybe I'm a little bit dense here, because me don't really understand when nobody else say, because me don't know if no Jamaican, we born a John grew a Jamaica where we can master patois. So what more master, one master the patois more than one master it, no? Me don't understand, no? We master the patois more than we master the English, you know? We should be emphasizing the English. The English is our official language. So unless we are now, we want to change and use patois as the official language, I don't understand this conversation at all. Every Jamaican I know can master patois. But a lot of us can't master the English language, which they say is the official language of Jamaica. So we should be emphasizing more the English language and cut out this nonsense about trying to master patois. What are you talking about? Master patois? Oh, you can master patois. You can master patois more than how. Oh, Lord have his mercy. I tell you. I also have a guy here who was trying to belittle Juliet Holness because this is the dumbing down of Jamaica, you know. A lot of people, because the dunce people, them, we only know patois. We can't, them are the ones where want to push this narrative, you know. And I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this for now. Listen to this. I want to listen to this because this guy don't like Juliet Holness, and because him don't like Juliet Holness, him come on here, and him not, listen.
If patois not supposed to speak in a parliament, I'm in a business about no regulation, I'm in a business about no black and white. Patois is a part of our culture.
So patois is a part of the culture, and the rules are don't speak it in parliament. So you're no business about no regulation, and you're no business about no rule, but you're supposed to just talk it in parliament. Okay, all right.
I always said Jamaica and Jamaicans don't embrace their culture.
Okay.
Something that is called culture.
Jamaicans and Jamaicans don't embrace their culture because we don't talk patois in a parliament. All right, cool.
Cultural diversion. It and your Jamaica alive. And it's really sad for no say the politician them really are kill Jamaican culture.
Politicians are killing Jamaican culture. How?
Like, if you know how people admire our Jamaican Creole or
okay, all right, so what?
Or Jamaican patois, especially living overseas. It's like you're a superstar when you can.
Oh, really though? Superstar? Because you talk patois. Okay, all right.
I speak patois, honestly. The Jamaican culture is one of the most admired culture worldwide. And for no say, the authorities, the politicians, the leaders in a Jamaica literally a fight against our dialect. Like
nobody's fighting against it. Nobody's fighting against it, my brother. Nobody.
What? Why y'all wanna be Americanized?
Oh, hold on. What you say a while ago?
Why y'all wanna be American?
Why y'all? Hold on. Is this the same guy where tell we say, if we talk patois And it's talking about why y'all.
Like what? Why y'all wanna
Like what? Like what? Isn't that an American slang, an American vernacular? Why y'all want to be Americanized? Why y'all?
be Americanized? Like me realize said y'all wanna be Americanized. Why y'all wanna be Americanized? Or dialect? Like what? Why y'all wanna be American? Or dialect? Like what? Why y'all wanna be American?
Oh my word! Yes, yeah. It is. It is funny.
Americanized. Like me realize said Jamaica just wanna be Americanized so bad, and that's why me speak about cultural diversion. Let us embrace our culture because patois is a major part of our culture, and we need to acknowledge that.
Well, in conversation, I made hurt me because me not really understand the nonsense in it. Somebody need to put me down like me a 2-year-old and kind of teach me this because I don't understand why we need to talk more patois. Why we need to talk more patois in Jamaica? Why we need to talk more patois in Jamaica? Why do we need to talk more patois in Jamaica? Aren't we talking enough patois in Jamaica? we're not embracing?
Something about Gillette Wellness where I really and truly cannot tolerate. Like me can't
Okay, now you're coming to the point. All right, no, we understand you. All right, so it has nothing to do with patois. It has everything to do with Juliet Holness being the speaker of the House of Representatives, and you don't like her. Am I correct on that?
tolerate Gillette Wellness will save my life.
Oh.
And the next part of it, me not understand how Gillette Wellness are the speaker and our husband are the prime minister. That's one equation I will never be able to.
Okay, all right, my brother. No, me understand you. No, me understand. I totally get where you're coming from. Continue.
Add up, I understand. Trust me. But yeah, full-time Jamaicans need to start embracing our culture.
Oh, so you're going back on the patois thing now? Okay, me thinking that just a deal with just Juliet Wellness and she being the speaker and her husband is the prime minister. But you're going back on the patois. All right, let me hear what you said. Let me finish here what you said.
No go like sound shame for sound chat patois. We chat patois and patois is a big part of our culture for years. I mean, not stop chat patois. When me can speak fluent English, I not stop chat patois.
Wait, nobody telling. Can somebody explain to me why is this word quarreling? That him not stop chat patois? Am I missing something? Did somebody tell him not to chat patois? Or was there a directive from the government that they're going to put a ban on people chatting patois? I don't know. Maybe I missed that one. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's a hot topic. So we know how it goes. It's very hot over here sometimes. Let me get back to some more music and then we're gonna get out of here.
Your thing, baby, your thing. And a twin spin, baby. I am the magnificent W-O-O-O.
Oh, cherry, oh, baby.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Blood, 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 blood and fire. Blood, blood, blood and fire.
yeah, blood and fire, blood and fire. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this one here is a very interesting one. This one coming out of the United States of America, and the U.S. government is this one here. The U.S. government agreed to permanently drop tax claims against President Donald Trump, his sons, and the Trump Organization as part of a settlement over leaked tax returns. Trump will receive a formal apology from the government, but no financial compensation under the agreement. The Trump administration also announced a $1,776 billion anti-weaponization fund for people who claim they were politically targeted by government investigations or prosecutions. The agreement is part of a settlement deal to resolve Trump's $10 billion lawsuit against the Internal Revenue Service over the leak of his tax returns. The agreement forever barred and precluded the U.S. government from examining or prosecuting Trump, his sons, and the Trump Organization's current tax issues. According to a separate settlement agreement posted to the DOJ website Monday, Trump will receive a formal apology from the U.S. government, but will not receive any monetary payment or damages of any kind from the settlement. The Trump administration announced Monday the creation of a nearly $1.8 billion fund to compensate allies of the Republican president who believe they have been unjustly investigated and prosecuted, an arrangement Democrats and government watchdogs derided as corrupt and unconstitutional. The anti-weaponization fund of $1,776 will allow people who believe they were targeted to prosecution for political purposes, including by the Biden administration Justice Department, to apply for payouts, creating what Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche called a lawful process for victims of lawfare and weaponization to be heard and seek redress. Blanche also said on Tuesday he would not rule out the possibility that people who were involved in the deadly January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol will be considered for payouts from the new fund. So there you have it. I don't know. I never know that I could live to see the day when the U.S. is being run. Like, if this was what they call, what the United States called third world countries, you could understand it, because this is what you hear of in some faraway places. This is not what we hear of in the United States of America. The president suing his own government to get money. And then when he found out that it wasn't going to go the way how him realized, him drop the lawsuit and have his Department of Justice hand him some money. Lord, and they create this quote-unquote anti-weaponization fund. I tell you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is all that we have the time for this evening. And as usual, I want to say thank you for spending your evening with me. I hope that you enjoyed the program a little bit. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. So I will catch you next week, same time, same place, for the hot topics. And I'm going to play, going out, I'm going to play a voice note for you in response to the, which of the topics was it? I think it was the Nara thing. Yeah, I'm going to play that for you. But take care of your beautiful selves, and I will see you soon. God bless you. I'm out of here. Wagon.
Oh, mercy, Lord. You out the fire. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, burn, burn. Blood, 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 blood and fire. Blood, 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 blood and fire.
So, I've been dealing this situation with the donation money that's been sitting in furlough or in being held towards the Hurricane Melissa, right? And I've also, what prompted this voice note is the fact that there are a couple outstanding statements from the, people from the People's National Party that have bothered me. Now, my biggest issue is it seems that the PMP, and let me preface this before I say PMP are party versus party. I don't believe in the party system. While I believe in a particular person, the fact that they're a part of the JLP is only happenstance. I do believe that there's some sort of innate corruption in politics, whether you look at the JLP or the PMP. It exists. And that is what happens when you give people too much power, too much freedom to reign supreme, right? So, with that being said, I understand the need to criticize from one party to another, whether it be PMP to JLP, JLP to PMP, right? But my biggest issue, as the party that sat for 18 years and watched the country be sold and depleted and pretty much left on its knees, right? You have no standing in calling other people corrupt or calling for people to take action, because you, as the party that was in control for more than 18 years, but consecutively 18 years, right? You sat and watched as Jamaican people suffered. Not due to an unforeseen circumstance like a hurricane, which is terrible, but you were the cause of suffering to a lot of Jamaican people, right? Majority. And people still voted for you, which I couldn't understand. But that's a story for you. Right? So, with all that now, when you look at the donated by Jamaicans, or, not even just Jamaicans, a lot of people donated, not just Jamaicans, people from across the world, right? Jamaicans in other countries, plus other countrymen, or other people from other country donated, right? Now the money is sitting, and it's been, 5 months, almost 6 months? Now I agree that there needs to be some plan in place as to how the money is going to be spent. Now, while I am saying that, I am also not unreasonable. I am of the mindset that the fact that the money is still there, the fact that 26 million has been spent and accounted for, right? It didn't just go to the wayside and disappear like, a lot of the funding under different situations where money was donated or, So, I am not happy with the speed of how this money is being spent or how the money is being allocated. But I am also happy that they might be taking the time out to figure out the proper channels, the proper way to spend the money. Because as we've seen, when people just go out and just hand out, people tend to, and it's sad to say, that your own Jamaican people come and them collect, even though them don't need it. Them show up from other parishes and them collect. When there are people there, you don't have a conscience.